Hello, fellow teachers. My name is Wendy Harris. I'm an elementary school teacher, and I'm making this video in order to share a lesson idea and get feedback on it, and anyone is welcome to use it who would like to. The lesson plan is called Student Writing and Production of a Multimodal Assignment, and I designed this lesson as part of a class on digital literacy. And the great thing about it is that as teachers, we're always being pressured to add more technology into our coursework, and our students are always wanting to use the computer. And sometimes it's difficult for us to find a lesson where we can do both. And so I've come up with this. The standards that it's pulled from are the Common Core standards. ELA CC4W6, where students will use technology, including the internet, to produce and publish writing. And then the standard to research, to build, and present knowledge. Also from the Common Core, 4W7, 4W8, and 4W9, to conduct short research projects that build knowledge, to recall relevant information from experience, and to draw evidence from literary or informational text to support analysis, reflection, and research. And they'll apply the Grade 4 reading standard to literature, where they will describe in depth a character, setting, or event in a story or drama, recalling specific details from the text, for example, a character's thoughts, words, or action. At my elementary school, and it may be the same at yours, our internet access is often undependable. It's really hard using the laptops. So I just need to warn you in advance, if your school is like mine, you probably will need to plan ahead to book several days in your computer lab so that the students will have enough time to complete this assignment. Also plan it after you have done some reading. For example, we just finished Dear Mr. Henshaw by Beverly Cleary, because this lesson plan is based on having the students pick out a character, event, or setting from one of their novels that they will create the multimodal project about. So the EQ is, can I research a character, setting, or event in a story using digital and print media and produce a multimodal project demonstrating my understanding of the topic. The objectives are that students will conduct research on a fourth grade fiction book of their choice, using the internet or print sources, take notes. They will produce writing to describe the character, setting, or event. They will make text-to-self connections. They will find pictures from digital sources to fit the author's descriptions of characters and settings, and they will put all of this research together along with their personal experiences to produce a multimodal project using PowerPoint or Google Docs or an appropriate program in order to tell about what they've learned. So they're going to describe this character, setting, or event in depth. They're going to put it together with pictures. They're going to post those in PowerPoint. They're going to use their writing and annotate the pictures in order to tell about what happened in the character's life or some event from the book. And ideally, they should be able to make a presentation to the class using the projector and the smartboard, with their pictures on screen and their annotations to describe what they've learned. The formative assessments will consist of checklists in order to guide the students along the way. The first checklist will cover the written part of the assignment for the novel, and they will have to go ahead and make their decision whether they're going to describe a character, event, or setting from the book. And it will include such items that they could check on their own, such as their mechanics, the grammatical features of the writing, whether or not they've used complete sentences, for example, whether they've thoroughly described the topic and included direct references from the book, and they can have a classmate go over this with them to help them make the determination as to whether they've included everything they need. And then the summative assessment will be made by the guidelines of a rubric concerning the production. And let me get to the rubric. That's on the next page. And here is the multimodal language arts assignment rubric. And the category of mechanics, they can get a 4 if there's no misspellings or grammatical errors, down to a 1 if there's more than 4 errors in spelling or grammar. For content, they can get a 4 if their piece covers the topic in depth with details and examples, showing excellent knowledge of their subject, down to a 1 if the content is minimal or there are several factual errors. For sources, they can get a 4 if their source information is collected for all graphics, facts and quotes, and documented in their presentation. And that would be down to a 1 if there's very little or no source information. And then attractiveness, a 4 if they make excellent use of font, color, graphics, and their pictures to enhance their presentation, down to a 1 if their use of font, color, or graphics are either left out or if they're presented in a way that distract from the presentation. And then for their presentation itself, a 4 if it's well rehearsed with a smooth delivery that holds their audience's attention, down to a 1 if the delivery is not smooth and the audience's attention may possibly be lost. So here in a nutshell is the lesson plan idea, and I'll really be looking forward to getting your comments and feedback and find out what you think about the lesson plan, whether or not you would be able to use it, what other ideas or information you might need, or what suggestions you may have. Thank you very much. Have a great day at school. I look forward to hearing back from you.